Alright everybody, welcome back. It is May 19th, 2023, and apparently that 7.7/8.0 earthquake that struck near the Loyalty Islands and New Caledonia did in fact cause a small tsunami. Parts of that tsunami even hit New Zealand and some of the smaller islands near New Caledonia, Fiji, and more areas within the vicinity of the epicenter of that quake. Now, luckily, as you can see on your screen, there was no reported damage or anything like that. It was small enough to where it was not that significant. But the fact that we finally have had an earthquake that caused a tsunami during this time of high solar activity that we've been talking about for weeks now might just be showing us signs of what's to come. You are also looking at the activated tsunami buoys that were triggered by this earthquake. And take a look at the one to the northwest of Australia. I'm curious about how that buoy was triggered, but nonetheless it was, and you see it, there it is. We're going to be getting into a little bit more of that solar activity in just a minute, but take a look at this article just a few hours ago, an earthquake in New York. This was quite literally miles from where I was born, just north of Yonkers. A 2.2 earthquake reported that many people felt. In fact, surprisingly enough, they actually did post this one on the USGS. I was very surprised to actually see this earthquake here. But here you go, Hastings on the Hudson. This is in Westchester County, New York, my old stomping grounds. And the reason for the amount of people that felt this is because of how shallow it was, 10.3 kilometers. So that's just a few miles deep. And if I zoom in a little more here, you could see it is right next to the Hudson River. And what's even more a little odd is that this took place at a place called Xavier's Mansion. It's owned by the county and is currently undergoing a $5 million renovation. It used to be a big tobacco mansion, but to see an earthquake right here alongside the Hudson River is definitely super rare. In fact, I want to use Google Earth so we can get way down inside there because I want to show you guys this area. It's pretty interesting how this took place in this actual property here. You can see the mansion back here and it took place right in this yard with a big X in it. So I just find it interesting that it's undergoing a $5 million renovation and that it just so happened to take place in this particular area. I guess maybe a little biased because it's where I grew up as a kid. Now, as far as the space weather goes, we spoke about this a little bit last night. It was very late last night, so I'm sure a lot of you did not get to see that video, but I want to show you what's been going on with our sun. Just towards the end of May 16th, we had nearly an X-class solar flare, an M9.6. That is very strong. It was on the left limb of the sun. I'll show you that video as well. But since then, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different M-class solar flares coming from 2 different sunspots on that left limb of the sun that is actually making its way towards Earth facing. And very quickly, just to refresh your memory, here is a snapshot of that X-class solar flare that took place on the 16th, which we are currently now feeling the solar storm from, or at least a bit of it. And the reason I say that is because this was on the left limb of the sun. It wasn't directly Earth-facing, but when you get a flare of this size, you're definitely going to get effects on Earth. Now, moving into more recent time, I'm going to go ahead and play this video through, and we're going to look at this area up here and down here, and you're going to see all the action that's been taken place, all these M-class solar flares that are just been launching off the sun. And again, these are 2 sunspots that are making their way towards the middle of the sun. Once they go off, if they go off there, that's going to be a major issue. Also, I want to get back into this Loyalty Islands / New Caledonia earthquake and take a look at how many aftershocks we've had. And some of these are fairly large. This is still going on as we speak, right along this fault line here. And I'm going to tell you right now, this 5.9 and this 5.7 right here were downgraded here from a 6.1, this 5.9 here, and then a 6.0 downgraded to a 5.7. So there is a lot of movement and action going on in this area still as we speak. We are getting aftershocks. And again, this is that 7.7, 8.0 earthquake that took place and caused those tsunamis to hit these islands up here. As we zoom out a little bit, you could see the tsunami came down as far as parts of New Zealand. Again, no damage reported. It was a small tsunami, but a tsunami nonetheless. Now again, I know some of this information may be repetitive, but it's very important to understand how this stuff works. Now, we are currently getting hit with the solar particles, at least some of them from this X-class solar flare, which is putting pressure on the Earth's magnetic field. Now, now, as we move into the 18th, which was literally just yesterday, again, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different M-class solar flares. Now, what that means is that each one of these is going to be sending more energy towards the Earth in different increments, and they almost pancake on top of each other, especially when they're in rapid succession like this. So we'll have the energy from one hit, and then the next one, then the next one, and then the next one, and these things have residual energy, which means that these are almost doubling up and tripling up and quadrupling up and adding to that force on the Earth's magnetic field, which is causing more and more stress, and that's why we're seeing these earthquakes, or at least part of the reason why we're seeing them. Of course, we have natural earthquakes that just take place because of the tectonic plates moving, but I'm telling you right now, this sun is causing a lot of disruptions on Earth. This right here is a straight-on view of the waves that were created, the energy waves from that 7.7 or 8.0 earthquake. This is a Princeton University website that actually does these graphics. It's very cool how you can go onto this website and get these immediately. Finally, I want to show you guys these sunspots in a different angstrom. That's what they call these different filters you can use on helioviewer.org. That's this website. I'll link it in the description box once I'm done here. But these two sets of sunspots you see right here, and then this big one down here. As we zoom out, basically picture Earth on the equator of the sun right here. So these things are going to be coming across over the next couple days and making their way towards Earth facing. Earth facing is anything that's basically from here moving over to about here. So technically this group of sunspots right here would be considered Earth facing, but they're making their way out and around the back of the sun. These two right here, on the other hand, are making their way towards Earth facing. Now, just because Earth is in the center, and you can see that both of these sets are above and below Earth, that means absolutely nothing. If this thing were to come across and launch off an X-class solar flare, the Earth would absolutely feel some absolutely insane pressure on the magnetic field, causing anything from power outages, cell phone outages, internet outages, earthquakes, even people feeling physical effects like headaches and different types of body pains and things like that. I've had many subscribers tell me that during solar storms, they get weird headaches, they can't sleep at night. It's not a coincidence. It happens every single time we have some major event take place on the sun that is Earth facing, and then within about 1 to 2 days, that energy hits Earth, and then boom, we are in the middle of a solar storm. All right, my friends, that is what I got for you for now. Take a look at that New York earthquake. That was pretty rare, and even more rare is where it took place. So I will go ahead and check that out on Volcano Discovery. I appreciate each and every one of you. Shout out to Canada. I'll be back with more updates later on or tomorrow, depending on what happens in this crazy world we live in. All right, everybody, I hope you have a good rest of your afternoon and evening, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye. Stop right there, my friends. If you have not already, click that subscribe button and don't forget to hit the bell icon. Click all and you will get all notifications from this channel. And trust me, you won't be disappointed.